realised that they had common purpose with those who had campaigned for generations for social justice and for economic equality. And those two things, the desire to be independent and the desire to build fairness and compassion into our society, they became one and the same thing. And our crusade for independence that ended, the campaign that ended 2 years ago today, that was saying not just that we wanted to have control over our country, but we wanted to do so in order to build a better country. A country built on fairness, equality, tolerance and compassion. And that is still the case today. And as a result of the campaigns that we have already been involved in, we now have a remarkable situation in Scottish politics. The cause of self-government, the cause of independence, is now by and large a campaign of the left of centre. And we have seen a unifying of people around that campaign. And those who stand in our way are now by and large led by the right of centre and Ruth Davidson's Conservative parties. And that, my friends, is a battle set which we can win, because we are in the majority. Those of us that stand for decency, those of us that say this bitter, unfair, intolerant country is not the be-all and end-all of our humanity and that we can do better, we are in a majority. And we will persuade people in the years ahead to vote for their self-government. Now, we don't know when the next referendum will be. I expect everyone here wants the chance to ask that question as soon as possible. But none of us want to ask it and get the wrong result. So we need to be extremely careful how we plan ourselves and our campaign in the months ahead. The situation on the 23rd of June with the Brexit vote has left us in a remarkably changed situation. The world is not as it was. The United Kingdom people voted to stay part of 2 years ago does not exist anymore. You will remember how we were told that a vote for Scottish independence would threaten our ability to remain European citizens, and that the only way to be sure of that was to vote to stay in the Union. Well, how shallow and wrong those promises seem now today. Now we have a choice which is different from the one we had in 2014. We have a choice between being an increasingly irrelevant part of an increasingly isolationist and separatist country that wants to breed fear and intimidation within its own ranks and to develop hostility towards the rest of the world, or we can ourselves become a modern, independent European nation and open our borders to the rest of the continent. And more people are coming to realise that that is a different proposition. And I actually think, my friends, that the timing of the next referendum is very much in the hands of the British government now. Because we were promised in 2014 that the Union wasn't a matter of Scotland being absorbed into a bigger country. Oh no. The Union was a partnership between independent nations sharing the same island. We were told that the views of Scotland would be respected in that union. So the challenge is clear now to Theresa May and David Davis and Boris Johnson. Let's see if respect means respect, Theresa. Let's see if you will respect the decision of the people of Scotland to stay in the European Union while the people of England and Wales decide to leave. And let's just see how much respect they have for our intentions, because there will be some of you listening who didn't vote to stay in the European Union. That's fair enough. But this is not a question of whether the EU today is a good thing or a bad thing. This is a question of who decides Scotland's relationship with Europe. Should it be the people that live in Scotland or the people that live in another country? And I say it should be the people that live in Scotland. And if the British government refuses to countenance any special arrangements within the Brexit plan which provide for us to keep our European passports, then not only shall we vote against that plan in the House of Commons, but they will have created a situation where the second referendum is game on. And it will be their responsibility that we do this. My friends, let me leave you with this. In the months ahead, we have a very murky and unclear situation. We are waiting for the dust to settle, and we have a British government that frankly doesn't know what day it is in terms of what it wants to do next. So it will be months before the sediment begins to settle, before we can see clearly to the way ahead. But what is vital in these months ahead is that we open a dialogue to everyone in Scotland, and we say to them, what sort of future do you want for yourselves and your children? And we say to them that we are listening. Now, every time I say this, I get a bunch of people with red, white and blue insignias, usually on their Twitter feed, tweeting me and haranguing me and saying, well, we voted 2 years ago and you didn't listen then. Well, I say to them, it is not the same question as it was 2 years ago. The world has changed. There is a different choice to be made now. We are pressing the reset button. And you have to decide which future you want, whether you want to be part of a progressive community going forward, or whether you want to be part of a separatist United Kingdom. And I think as we involve those people in that dialogue, we will see, and we are already seeing, many of them come over to our cause and realise that this ambition to be able to govern ourselves, to be able to use the vast resources of our rich country for the common good and build it to be a force for progress and decency in the world, that is a noble cause, and it is one which they will join, and the next time, my friends, we are going to win.